Australia team is coming out now. I think Spain probably have had a tougher schedule in this World Cup to this point.
13, Izzy McGregor.
I think everybody agrees that Liz Cambage, if she's not the best player in the world, she is certainly one of the best players. Maybe one of the top 5, maybe the best. Sandy Brondello, the coach, she played in this game, and now she's coaching in these games. And there's Liz Cambage. And if you've been able to see the pregame in the tunnel before Australia came out, you just would not believe it. They had like a little conga line dance going back there, and it was something to marvel at. Really, Spain, relief that they're here. They've had injuries in the build-up. They haven't been in their best to something. There's no doubt about it. You mentioned it. But this is a team of champions, both for clubs, for Spain, winning at Eurobaskets, finishing runners-up at the last World Cup, the last Olympics, so to the United States. So this is a team that has players that have been in the big moment, and this is a massive moment for Spain playing in front of their home crowd.
That win last night over Canada must have given the Spanish team a lot of confidence, Jeff.
Yeah, there's no doubt. They are confident, and this game can go either way. So Australia, clearly, they are focused, they are locked in, and all bets are off with the Spanish team. We just don't know what they're going to get. They are part of that incredible game against Belgium, which they lost. But the game that really kind of just really captivated international basketball the other night. It gave Belgium first place in that group and forced Spain to go through the qualifications for the quarterfinals. But all that's history now. These two teams are now in the semifinals. We're going to have a pause in the commentary as we have the playing of the national anthems.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Spain.
Gets you every time, folks. The national anthems before the games, it sets the tone, and it lets you know this is what national team basketball, international basketball, is all about. It's about playing for your country, playing for pride, and you're going to give everything, especially when it's a semifinal. And we're going to get a look at the referees, and I've already had a look at them. Manuel Mazzoni, Natalia Cuello Cuello, and Takaki Kato of Mazzoni, of course, the Italian in the middle. Natalia from the Dominican Republic on the left, and Takaki Kato from Japan on the right.
The commissioner for this
to get to this point, obviously that signifies they have done a whale of a job in this tournament. Now, from the rosters.
You know, I'm interested to see how Beck Allen comes out, Kayla George, of course Liz Cambage. I mean, we saw a very good Australia team yesterday. Everyone expects that person, Liz Cambage, but how is Steph Talbot going to do? Beck Allen, Katie Ebzery, Kayla George. Everyone needs to step up and support this woman right here, Liz Cambage. 25.8 points a game, 68% from the field, 8.5 rebounds, and 2 blocks a game. She has been absolutely unstoppable. She is putting on an MVP performance here at this tournament. And I want to know what Spain is going to do to slow her down. I mean, here we'll take a look at the Spanish roster, and I'm going to guess a lot of that is going to rely on Astu Endor, you see down at the bottom, but also Laura Nichols. And then who stepped up huge for them yesterday? Cristina Oviña. Here we see the starting five. Laura Nichols, Alba Torrens, Laia Palau, Anna Cruz, and Astu Endor. Wow, is it going to be a tough night for Astu Endor, but everyone is going to have to help out. Here she is, 13.8 points a game, 47% field goal, 4.2 rebounds, 1.2 steals. She's also going to have a big night. Maybe pull Cambage out a little bit and make her guard her from the outside, because we've seen Astu knock down threes in this tournament. She's not shy about taking the outside shot. Maybe that'll be a little tougher matchup for Liz Cambage.
Gets to the corner, she
Mike,
and just dribble it and do it quick. You get nice and hard
Ladies
here.
and gentlemen, the Molten Game
Thinking about
Ball
how they're gonna
presented
approach
by
Cambage. Mike Spain trying to
Endesa
get
is
her out
now
of her
being
game.
taken onto the
Trying to
court
get inside her
by
head, perhaps.
7-year-old
You never know. I'm sure they,
En estos
the
instantes,
Spaniards
señoras y
know
señores, el
how
balón de juego
to take on challenges like facing
está
Liz
siendo entregado
Cambage.
al árbitro.
And Sandy Brondello, she's got to be encouraged by how her team has progressively gotten better in this tournament. Yeah, I wasn't a believer in Australia's chances before the tournament, but I'm a big believer now. And Lucas Mondello, boy, they have had some stormy seas, and to get to the semifinal in this tournament speaks a lot of his ability to coach, to go deep in his bench, but also to get the likes of Oviña and Casas and get big contributions from them.
You're absolutely right, Jeff. I mean, for me, the difference makers yesterday, the big win over Canada for Spain, were the two people you just mentioned. Cristina Oviña and Karel Casas. He gave them an opportunity, and boy, did they ever take advantage of the opportunity. They were the game changers. They were the stars of the game. And I just, for Lucas Mondello to have that kind of a trust in his bench also is what's really inspiring to me. And this is why the Spanish team absolutely love to play for Lucas Mondello.
The Cambage gets all the headlines, but make no mistake, Steph Talbot, Beck Allen, Kayla George, and Katie Ebzery, terrific players. Beck Albert was just sensational in the quarterfinal. I mean, she was the player that set the tone for the Opals in that win. So as great as Cambage is, these other Opals have really been standing up in this big moment. And this, one win away for the Opals from their first meeting against the United States in a World Cup final. But can they beat a good Spanish team? Well, we're about to find out.
Steady leg, side by side. Opa!
Good evening, folks. Welcome to Tenerife, Spain, in the Canary Islands. What a place to be. Trust me, it's a wonderful place. In the Santiago Martín, Spain and Australia. Here at the start of the second semifinal. The winner will play the United States in the final. They won against a very good Belgium team to get to the final. Belgium, of course, beat Spain earlier in the tournament. Liz Cambage charges into Laura Nichols. So first blow to Spain. And, well, I think it's a good call. She leaned into her.
And Coach Mondello and his staff watched a lot of video on how to guard Liz Cambage. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Good job, Laura Nichols, sacrificing her body, and it paid off for the Spanish team.
That was no flop. Endor pulls up for the jumper. And possession back to the Opals. Beck Allen. She had the hot hand against China. She just took a hand in the face, literally, from Laya Palau. And now foul down low on Indoor for a push.
I said yesterday, in yesterday's quarterfinal game for Australia against China, everyone knows Liz Cambage is going to score. I wanted to know who could score for this Australian team outside of her, and boy did Beck Allen ever step up.
Cambage is going to put up a jumper, and the first points, no surprise, go to Cambage. Those quick hands knocks the ball out of Torrens' hands, but she gets it back. Torrens puts up a three. Nobody box out. Laura Nichols. She missed on the putback. And now Ebzery comes in and scores. And Opal's looking tough here at the start. Palau takes a bow. Now she's going to make the pass to Indoor. She has to throw it back out. Shot clock winding down. 4, 3. Oh, beautiful pass to Torrens. And quickly to the other end, Liz Cambage outran the Spanish defense.
How tough is it when Liz Cambage, tallest woman on the court, is beating everyone down the floor? It's going to be a long night for Spain if she's going to be playing like that.
Laura Nichols, go! Kayla George answers quickly. Gets it back over to the Opals. Ebzery. No pass. Hit out of bounds by Palau. Remember, Palau, 39 years of age. Basically let it be known she was retiring last year, although at the time Spain were kind of laughing as if to say, ha ha ha,
yeah, right.
You think you're retiring? The World Cup's in Spain next year. Think again, Laya. Sure enough, here she is. Talbot denied by Indoor. Now Cruz gets it back to Palau. Into Indoor, she goes right at Talbot, and the Dominican referee calls the foul. Kayla George, a member of that team that played 4 years ago. Steph Talbot, very important player. Pat doesn't get as much credit as she deserves, but Asta Indoor kind of now, you know, the naturalized player in the Spain squad after Sancho Little. The great Sancho Little. And they rely a lot on her. Spain in a 2-3 zone, trying to close off the Cambage factor. Well, they get it over to Beck Allen, and that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to deal with Beck Allen if you're going to play zone.
And I love that Beck Allen just hit her first three, because it just proves that Spain's going to be going zone because they're so worried about what Liz Cambage is going to do. You need people to shoot from the outside and score, and Beck Allen proved that Australia can do that with her on the court.
And Blau turns it over as she got into that lower lane area. Look at Beck Allen. She knows where the zone is. And even with the Spanish defense running at her, she hits the three. Mondello and Spain have their work cut out tonight.
Que Cambage ni se iba a mover. No. Y cuando ella penetra hay que hacer ayuda a jugar sin balón. Hemos salido a la cancha muy
Look at
mal.
that.
Ya
You
os lo he
see
dicho, lo he visto en la
29%
cara.
for Spain, while
Los tiros solos hay
Australia's
que
shooting
meterlos.
71%.
No hay transición sacando de fondo. Jugada. ¿Vale? Jugada sacando de fondo. No hay transición. ¿Vale? ¿De acuerdo? Seguimos con el mismo plan. ¿De acuerdo? Pero vamos a hacerlo.
So Lucas Mondello going over some of the principles that they talked about before the game. Game plan, and look at that. That's what Mondello was upset about. One of the things he brought up was how can Cambage beat us down the court?
But you know, you saw that earlier, her first 2 points, where she was actually caught the ball meter and a half outside of the key, and was just able to shoot right over Laura Nichols. So I think that's a pretty good job by Nichols pushing her out, forcing her to catch the ball outside of the key. But she's so talented that she still can make those kind of shots.
Edzuri brings it across midcourt. See how Spain react coming out of the timeout. Cambage gets the basket and a trip to the line. And how in the world are they able to get the ball that low? And how is she able to score? And she even inadvertently gets the elbow into the face of Nichols. I guess you'd have to say it's almost a dream start for Australia to be up 14-5 on Spain. Torrens. Cruz. Nichols. Now Torrens for 3. And the extra bounce helped Talbot get it for the Opals. And Laia Palau takes it away. That pass intended for Beck Allen. Laia Palau quickly to Cruz and fouled by Cambage, who was hustling from behind.
And if there's one way you can stop Cambage, and that's getting her into foul trouble.
No, it was on Talbot, they called it, not Cambage.
Well, if there is one way you can get Cambage to not be as effective, it's put her on the bench. And the way you do that is by getting her into foul trouble. She does already have one. We saw the offensive foul that was called rather early in the first quarter. If I'm Spain, even if maybe you get blocked every now and then, just try and attack her, try and get her into foul trouble.
Sammy Wickham in the game for the Opals. Got a lot of firepower out there. Kayla George snuck in there for the rebound. Passes back out to Edzuri. Now Beck Allen. George out to Wickham. Shot clock down to 5, and Edzuri misses, but Cambage there to clean up the miss. And Mondello looks at his bench and says, what are we going to do with that? Cruz bounce pass to Nichols. Being aggressive, attacking the basket.
I mean, that's almost impossible to stop that. You saw that rebound put back by Cambage. If she catches a rebound that close, you either foul her or you almost let her have the 2 points easily.
Okay, so Lana Smith has come into the game for Kayla George. And that foul was indeed on Marta Jargai. And we talked about Uvinia, how important she has been to this Spain team, and she's come in, I'd say, about probably earlier than Mundell would have liked, but also Casas, and that's an indication of how they've been playing.
Casas was absolutely amazing for the Spanish team yesterday. I mean, in my opinion, she won them the game.
Here's Lavinia in the lane. And Jenna O'Hay back with the Opals for the first time since 2012. The pass to Cambage. Now to Whitcomb. Goodness me, the three-pointer from Whitcomb. And the Opals are flying here. We're not even 7 minutes into the first quarter. Jargai. And what has to be worrying as well for Spain are the waves of players that the Opals keep bringing in. Whitcomb. She's just one of the, Mundell has a lot of options, a lot more options, I think, than people probably would have expected before this World Cup. Tess Magin in the game now, bringing the ball up the floor against Ovino. She gets it to Jenna O'Hay. And now she gets it to Cambage, and Indoor was draped all over her. I mean, this is the sort of challenge that Indoor certainly cannot look forward to. She does have the long arms, Indoor. Cambage this time does get blocked by Indoor. And I don't think Cambage wants to turn it into a personal battle, and Casas answers at the other end. Magin has the ball knocked out of her hands. Casas. To Ovino.
Good defense by Spain.
Indoor open for three. Good! As to Indoor, flashes the three fingers on each hand. Jose Calderon style. Alana Smith, she thought about it. She hands it off to Whitcomb for three. And now, here comes Ovino. Spain starting to get some wind in the sails. Indoor beats Australia down the floor. And Australia have to take a timeout.
And what I like, this little run by Spain, it was all generated from their defense and forcing Australia, one into turnovers, or into, here's a beautiful pass by Ovino to Astu, who just ran the floor and beat everyone down the court. But their points right now have been generated by steals, touches, bad shots, and they're able to run. When Spain is at their best, it's when they are running and beating teams down the court, and that's what we've seen on this little run by Spain.
Now you've got to still be stunning. Now the movement is critical for us.
So maybe Australia are not going to have it all their own way.
Can we get into 1-0? Make sure he gets to
Keep
the
in
corner.
mind the Spanish team
Downhill. You can't stay there, Lana.
is ranked
Got to create separation.
second in the world.
Everything that we want to do.
They are the silver medalists from Rio, the silver medalists from 2014 FIBA World Cup, reigning Eurobasket gold medalists. They know all about what's happening. They know that Australia's going to make a run, especially if Cambage starts as well as she did. Just weather the storm, and that's what they did. They didn't lose focus, and now they're making a little run of their own.
And also, I thought that little, Cambage being guarded by Indoor, and she kind of, you don't have to go all the time. Back up your play. You got to pass it back out sometimes. I thought that was good D from Indoor after she committed the foul. Now Sammy Whitcomb, Button into the game, number 12. So Cambage taking a breather. Give and go. Oh, what a pass. Read by Spain beautifully. Jargai nipped in there. 2 seconds on the shot clock. And Kayla George is coming back in.
Into the game for Australia, number 15, Kayla George, replacing number 11, Alana Smith.
And they get it to O'Hay, and Laura Gill
Clothesline her.
collided with O'Hay, who missed the first few games of the Opals with a calf strain. And well, you can see that Laura Gill has the face mask. She's not shy to protect herself. So Jenna O'Hay makes the first one.
Good awareness by Jenna O'Hay also to the 2.2 seconds. You got to go up, even though she knew that contact was coming.
Passes it back to Casas. Laura Gill. Button grabs the ball. Now Imagine. Quick pass to Button. Jargai right at the strike. What is Jargai looking like she's got a little bit of extra bounce tonight?
She didn't play as many minutes yesterday because people like Terrell Casas and Cristina Oviña were playing so well, so maybe she will be a little bit more fresh.
O'Hay drives in. Spain knock it away. They've cut the deficit to 8. Oviña left open. Now to Imagine right at the end of the quarter. So Spain able to call back some of that deficit. They trail 23-15 Australia at the end of one.
Vale, lo que no puede pasarnos quedando 2 segundos.
De la Copa del Mundo del Baloncesto Femenino FIBA 2018 y nos trae la locura de estos chicos. Trucos increíbles. Nervios de acero, medido con el milímetro, son ellos, inigualables, irrepetibles.
50% by Australia compared to 38%. Look at that, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. But honestly, I think Spain did a great job of weathering the storm. Australia were up by 15 points in that first quarter, Jeff, and now they're only down 8 at the end of the quarter. So I think they just did a good job of calming down, not getting worried. And then also they got some stops, steals, forced Australia into some bad shots, which led to fast breaks and easy shots for Spain. And that's the best way that Spain plays basketball.
Yeah, they want to get out, they want to break and run. So do Australia, really. They want to get as many points in transition as possible. Endor got into the flow there. A couple of possessions, and that's an important basket for me, Jargai. If she can get her game close to where it needs to be, then that gives Spain a much better chance.
I mean, she did have, in my opinion, one of the biggest 3 points in the game yesterday in the fourth quarter, which really, I think, put Spain up or up by 3 or 4 early in that fourth, right?
Yeah. Jenna O'Hay. Cambe's asking for the ball. Passes back out. Now she wants it again. And she puts it up and in. shifting back
walking
to
the
that.
line
Yeah, she's going back to that
right
first
now.
game
And
against Nigeria where she's dissatisfied and letting the referees know about it. She needs to be careful.
she does, because
Jargai, up and in.
just like teams watch game film, guess who else watches game film?
Referees.
And the referees, I think, have done a really good job this tournament of not allowing players to talk back.
Kayla George.
And, you haven't seen as many floppings happen because refs are calling it. They're calling technicals. They're calling unsportsmanlike fouls. So Liz Cambage does need to be careful.
Jargai over to Casas. Another one for Spain. Now it's down to 5 points. Cambage. You have to salute Laura Nichols. She's doing everything she can. And a foul called as Cambage turns to go to the basket. Well, you can't fault Spain. I mean, they're trying to deal with a giant center. Meanwhile, Casas showing that she's up for the fight tonight.
I mean, I know what Laura Nichols is trying to do. This Spanish crowd is going crazy because they thought that Cambage maybe should have had an offensive foul on Laura Nichols. They were both moving at the same time, and then Gil, it was on Laura Gil. She did foul her. I mean, it was obvious. Everyone saw it. She hit her arm on the layup, her shooting arm. So,
Second foul on Nichols.
yeah, it was a foul.
But will Cambage go right at Nichols again? I mean, Nichols has been the real warrior for Spain in this tournament. She's played a lot of minutes.
She has, and you saw her pretty exhausted yesterday in the minutes she played. Coach Mondello did try and rest her as much as possible, but she was tired.
Offensive foul allowed to Gil.
And that's her third, Jeff. This could cause costly for Spain and Coach Mondello, because I think if there is a weakness on this Spanish team, it's the depth at the post position.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
He really only uses Laura Nichols, Laura Gil, and Astu Endor. But we have seen Jargai play 4 for them.
Oh, yeah, they'll put somebody there. They'll have to. And Ebseri left open, turns, and misses. Number 2 in the world, Spain, taking on number 3 in the world, Australia. Jargai. And that was an air ball, hand in the face. Cambage backs up out to Steph Talbot. And Kayla George reaches over to get the rebound. Kayla again off 1 foot. Another opportunity for the hosts. Casas hands it off to Jargai. 5 on the shot clock. Great defense by Beck Allen. But they did not get the ball, and now they do. Look who's bringing it up the floor. Liz Cambage. Oh! They have called an offensive foul on Cambage, I think, for leading with her forearm. Let's see.
I mean, she did kind of hook Casas. I mean, she tried to hook Casas. It was almost a no call, to be honest. I don't think it was a foul on Casas, and I'm not sure I would have called an offensive foul on Cambage.
But the only thing I'll say is, what is she doing bringing the ball up the floor?
Yeah. I mean, there you just saw her kind of taunting the thousands of Spanish fans.
Great defense by Beck Allen.
And was that maybe some of the eye rolling and complaining that she had started to do? You know, we saw little bit too much. They're paying too much attention to her.
Well, look at this. Australia had the ball bouncing around like a Mexican jumping bean.
I agree with you, though. I think if, you know, Liz Cambage right there, she came up with a good steal. Just pass it to your guard and run the floor. You're going to get it back. You don't need your 5 dribbling in the fast break with the ball.
No, that's the rule. You know,
Yeah.
it's fun to talk about seeing Cambage on the break, but at the end of the day, you got playmakers and everybody else that can take it up the floor. Palau back in now, over to Nichols. There's Casas. Torrens, it's good. Back to a 5-point deficit. Spain's defense is really giving them a chance now. Kayla George. Torrens with the rebound. Called for a foul. Holding on to Nichols.
And if I'm Spain right now, I'm going to try and take advantage of Cambage being off and see what you can get. You know, maybe go into Astuendor a little bit more. She has been the leading scorer of this Spanish team in this tournament. I do think she has an advantage over, you know, the post players who are guarding her right now for Australia.
Torrens takes it down. Torrens hustles. Now Casas. A little bit of a mismatch here. Casas on Bunton. She's got to put up the jumper. Good job by Bunton. Good defense by Palau to swipe it away. Whitcomb coming back into the game on the next dead ball. Offensive foul on Nichols. And that's number 3. Bad news.
Oh, I think it's just her second.
Was it her second? Okay, but that's a tough call on her, isn't it?
And she's looking, you know, you see her giving the technical sign, but she thought the person blocked.
Sammy Whitcomb goes down the lane, is blocked by Endor. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing Spain raise their level as the game goes on.
Well, I mean, they had to, or else they were going to get blown out by 20 points with the kind of start that Australia had.
Whitcomb, right now, Australia really struggling to put the ball in the basket. Whitcomb again. And the box out. And the ball saved in bounds to Australia. Magic to Bunton. Oh, she gets rejected by Torrens. But Torrens fouled her.
It's almost a late call, too. I think the ref was maybe waiting to see if she made it.
Oh, she hammered her big time. Got it with the body
no
and
question about
the arm. Bunton, though, misses. And Australia have been on 27 points for a long time. Finally, Bunton stops the run for the Opals. Torrens, bounce pass, Nichols, back to Endor. Got it!
And that's just beautiful basketball. Without Liz Cambage on the floor, that's what the Spanish team can do.
They can go inside, but so can Whitcomb for the Opals. from three, right in the face of Talbot. Now Wickham going straight at Casas, that gets rejected. Now Indo has it, and Spain can tie it with a three or pull to within one. Torrens takes the three. Spain have fought back to tie the game. Incredible. The shouts of Vamos ringing throughout the Santiago Martín, and the Opals had to call timeout.
And, you know, Jeff, we have done every single one of Spain's games at this tournament, so I feel like you and I know them well. And wow, have they ever elevated their game right now. This is the number 2 team in the world, and they are playing like it.
We're seeing Spain really, in my opinion, for the first time.
Oh, podemos
We're
hacer,
seeing
no,
Spain
vamos a
play
hacer
like
share.
Spain for the first time.
Running! We're jogging! That first
now
pass is
Sandy
just
Brondello,
straight
the
to
Opals,
second. That have good
you know,
spacing.
they
One of the
rely
players
so
down
much
low.
on
You guys
Candace.
are
Let's listen.
running beside each other. Hey, now Albert Torrens is taking off. You gotta still get through. It's separation. Be ready to stretch and congest. But it's a camp in and then out. And don't go out to in, because then they'll just create
So you saw that 2 of 12 this quarter from the floor for Australia, and much of that has to do with Spain's defense. Some open looks have been missed by Australia. Torrens knew exactly what she wanted, and she got it. She's got 10 points.
And, you know, Jeff, yesterday in the quarterfinal game for Australia, they beat China. I mean, they handled China easily. China didn't even show up for the match. But we did say, what happens when Liz Cambage isn't on the score and they're playing a good team who can attack them? You know, what's going to happen? And now we're seeing what happens when Liz Cambage isn't on the floor. They're not getting as many looks offensively. They're only 2-17?
No, 2 of 13 now after that. Albertines
And
goes
also,
down.
Spain are able to attack the basket, where they don't attack the basket like that when Liz Cambage is on the floor.
Well, here they get it to Indoor. I mean, Alana Smith had a good chance the last time down. She just missed the shot. And now, carrying the ball, palming it, is the call. And Sandy Brondello is appealing for a foul.
And, you know, you see here, Alba Torrens looked like she was trying to pitch the ball. Oh, so she did carry it on her hip.
She carried it on her hip. She also
that's
actually
what
kind
we
of...
saw, right? But Alba Torrens has already had 10 points. She was the MVP of Eurobasket last year. She has been the leader, the scorer of this team for the past few years, and we haven't seen her play like this. In the first few games, you and I were wondering, what was going on? She wasn't playing a ton of minutes. Then we found out that she had a knee injury happen right before this tournament started.
And the boos are raining down on Liz Cambage. And she has sort of invited it by her response to the crowd when she went to the bench.
She 100% has
She egged them
invited
on.
it, Jeff. But I think this motivates her.
But she has to be careful. She's got 2 fouls. It's kind of a dangerous time to put her back in the game. Alana Smith collects it again. Now Whitcomb. Whitcomb puts up a goal jump shot. Spain are owning that lane right now. Even with Cambage out there. Torrens. She's got that look.
Kind of the same look that Diana Taurasi had in the last game.
Palau. Imagine.
It's on Australia right now. I get the ball to my star, Liz Cambage, and I ask her to score for me in the paint. Spain haven't proved that they can stop her. How has she not touched the ball on 2 consecutive offensive possessions for Australia?
She needs to get down in the low box and ask for it. 1:16 remaining. Spain trying to take the lead. They seem to have pulled just a little bit as well as Australia. Australia had 23 points at the end of the first quarter, and they've scored just 7 in the second. to have a word with his team. And I have to say that Spain, I think, have kind of seized the momentum of this game.
Bloqueos, atacamos. Otro bloqueo.
They have to like where they are.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they were down 15 points early to this Australian team. Like I said, how do you take Liz Cambage out of her game? You get her into foul trouble. She did get those 2 fouls. She has been sitting on the bench for a while. She's only played 12 minutes so far in this game. But in those 12 minutes, she has 13 points and 6 rebounds. She's one of the most efficient. And
That's incredible, isn't it?
That surprises me.
Yeah, you would think that it would be 5 blocks for Cambage and no blocks for Spain.
But I just, you know, Australia had 2 offensive possessions. Liz is out by the 3-point line, kind of setting screens, but not rolling to the basket.
This is what caused
taunting.
this is what caused the uproar when she came back into the game, because she had done that. Great shot of Emsuri. Wonderful slow-mos. Prince for 3. Allen, the rebound. To do with Allen getting hot. And interesting, Sanchez has checked into the game and picked up a foul on Cambage. She's fouled the center, so now we'll go to the line. Takes some time and makes that one. Well, she's got 14 points. It's a relatively quiet 14, isn't it? We're so used to her seeing her have like 22 at the end of the first quarter.
I'm not sure the cameraman's caught this, but you saw, and that's a good idea by Coach Sandy Brondello there, to take her star player out with only a minute left, because what you do not want to do is let her get her 3rd foul.
She refuses to stop. She sees what she's doing. She continues to go back and forth with the crowd. Here's Cruz. Ball goes out, 4 on the shot clock, indoor, 3-pointer. Spain and taking the lead. Oh, nice bounce pass by O'Hay, and the finish by Talbot. 5 seconds ticking off the clock here. Cruz pulls up on the baseline. Get it! Australia have to hurry, and they're not going to get the shot off. More and more looking right now like this might be a Spain team that's coming into form at just the right time.
I mean,
35-34, they go to the locker rooms on top.
that last basket by Anna Cruz, how many times have we seen her hit a shot like that? And here are the stats for the half. They're almost identical, Jeff. 13 assists to only 8 of Australia. I mean, the blocks really stand out to me. 5 blocks by Spain and 0 for Australia.
You have to hand it to Spain. You know, they fell behind early, and they were, it looked like they were teetering. Their biggest lead, Australia, was 15 points, but they did not pull away. Spain remained in the game, and they just chipped away, and here they are now
With their biggest
with a
lead.
one-point lead.
So far in this game. I mean, if you're both coaches, there are definitely parts of this first 20 minutes that you have to be really happy with, but then also a little confused by. I mean, I thought Australia just came out and dominated. Here you see Liz Cambage with her first 2 points. She did have to go to the bench, and, you know, we talked about this against China, and China's not the same team as the Spanish team is. I said, what will Australia do with Liz on the bench? And sure enough, they went into a little bit of a scoring run. And that's when I think we saw Alba Torrens just take over. She had those 2 threes for them. She got them energized. She got this crowd into it. And you felt the momentum switch. And that's why we have a 1-point game right now.
I think Sandy Brondello's got some decisions to make. And I think Cambridge, as much as she likes jousting with the crowd, I think she really needs to turn her focus. She needs to tone it down a little bit and just focus on the game and not on the interplay with the fans. And that's something that you simply do not do in Spain, because they are going to ride you out of the gym.
That might be Liz Cambage, Jeff. I don't know if she's going to change.
Well, we are at the break. It's good. It's better, in fact, than I think we expected. It's Spain on top of Australia, 35-34. We'll be right back.
aplauso. La comparsa Los Joroperos. Pero la diversión continúa y nos vamos ahora a la Dance Camp de Finisher. Finisher, la línea de salud y nutrición deportiva de Ken Pharma, es la suplementación nutricional oficial de esta Copa del Mundo. Y queremos que bailes con nosotros, así que si te ves en la cámara, por favor, da lo mejor de ti. Hazte un bailarín profesional con la Dance Camp de Finisher. A ver a quién tenemos por ahí. ¡Hola! Se abre la cámara y, chicas, es la Dance Camp. Es un temazo de Michael Jackson. Eso es. A ver, ¿quién baila por ahí? Seguridad. Muy formal. Vamos, esas chicas, la Dance Camp de Finisher. Vamos a divertirnos y a bailar en la grada. ¿Más personas? Ese chico no, está trabajando. Muy bien, buen servicio a los cuerpos de seguridad. Ahí tenemos a una chica bailando. ¿O le has gustado a la cámara? Venga, hombre, bájate un bailecito, ¿no? ¡Qué tímido! ¡Eso es! ¡Wow! ¡Madre mía! ¡No! ¿En serio? ¡Impresionante! ¡No me lo puedo creer! ¡Vamos, vamos! ¡Vivan los cuerpos de seguridad! ¡Y vaya cuerpo, ¿no? ¡Wow! ¡Un aplauso, por favor! ¡Impresionante la Dance Camp de Finisher! ¡Baila con nosotros! ¡Impresionante! ¡Seguridad, seguridad, seguridad! ¡Ya está, otro más, un bonito! ¡Qué grande! ¡Fuerte el aplauso! Finisher. La energía para todas las jugadoras, pero también disponible para todas las personas para cuidar su salud. Más información en www.finisher.es. Y es que Finisher es el National Supporter de la Copa del Mundo de Baloncesto Femenino FIBA 2018.
Well, 35-34, Spain on top of Australia at halftime. Australia having led by 15 points early, but Spain got it back. They didn't get it back immediately, but by the time at the end of the half, they were knotted and they took the lead. So, who knows? Liz Cambage, there she is. She's got 15 points today. She's averaging 25.8 in the tournament, although I think that stat is kind of deceiving because she could have played a lot more earlier and had even more points in this tournament.
Just like you mentioned, you know, we saw she's averaging 25.8, 15 tonight already, but she's only played 20 minutes a game on average. So tells you how many points she really maybe could have had she played more minutes for that Australian team. But, you know, I just think Spain, maybe a little bit of nerves. I mean, they are playing at home in the semifinals of the 2018 FIBA World Cup. But wow, what a way to just come out and dominate in that second quarter. They only allowed Australia to score 11 points in the second quarter. Spain scored 9, and now they're up 1 going into the third.
What does Sandy Brondello say at halftime? And how do you all of a sudden blow a 15-point lead and regain your focus and regain your concentration and have the confidence? Has their confidence been shaken, for example?
I don't think so. You know, we saw Liz Cambage, pick up that offensive fast lead. Both of her fouls have been offensive fouls around midcourt, where you and I said, why is she bringing the ball up the court? Just pass it. Then, you know, that would never have happened. But anyway, she got it. She had to go to the bench. And that's when you saw Spain make their run. They started attacking the basket. They were getting stops. It was more difficult for Australia to score. And Spain were just getting out and running and scoring easy baskets because there was no Liz Cambage in the center of the key, distracting them, making them, you know, intimidating them, basically. So, and then we saw Liz Cambage check in, and there were 2 consecutive possessions where she was around the 3-point line setting screens, and she didn't even touch the ball on offense. This is your best player, 15 points. How are you not getting her as soon as she comes off the bench? That was the first play, not run for her.
Well, the only good thing you'd say about her situation is that she didn't pick up a third foul, and that could very easily have happened the way the flow of the game was going and some of the interaction. And Australia can ill afford for her to pick up any type of technical, so she needs to be minding her P's and Q's, so to speak.
Yeah, and you and I have talked about that, and you know, we mentioned it in the first game that we saw her play. I thought she was a lot better in the other games, in the 2 other group games. You have seen, like you say, P's and Q's are starting to maybe come out for her, and I think she needs to get her emotions in check because this Spanish team are going to try and get under her nerves. And they're playing well right now, and they know she is emotional. If she picks up this third foul early, it will be very interesting, Jeff.
Well, second half action underway, and as Slovenia brings the ball up the floor, a reminder, Spain had to really pull out a tough fight against Canada in the quarterfinals, had to go through the qualification for the quarterfinals. It hasn't been an easy road for them, but here they are, just 1 step away from the final, and taking on a very good Australia team that led them by 15 points. Australia team that is led by Liz Cambage. It does have other players that need to step up. Nice pass inside and the reverse layup. Ebzery running the baseline.
Good job by Ebzery, sorry. And you know what? I didn't like where Liz caught the ball. I don't think that's the place where she is most effective. But all Spanish eyes defensively went to her, and that's why you had that back door.
Casas pass to no one, and the turnover. So Australia with another chance. And here she is, Cambage setting the high pick. A great reaction by Indoor, the swat, and the ball goes off of Talbot and out of bounds. Indoor's having herself quite a game, 11 points, 2 rebounds. She's also got a couple of blocks, 4 blocks in fact. Euro step, gets inside, and the foul will send Laura Nichols to the line. So Cambage got a block, but then Ovenia got it back. Or excuse me, Nichols got it back. first. The second. So Spain reclaimed the lead. Almost stepped over the line without making the pass. Ebzery. George, shot clock winding down. Ebzery's got to check it up. She gets it up just in time.
And you know, I think Australia got lucky on that possession again. And again, I'm going to say it. How has Liz Cambage not touched the ball? It boggles my mind.
And Beck Allen gets a hand on it. You think that they just don't want to be one-dimensional?
Which I don't think they should be, but even if she gets a touch, as long as she doesn't force anything, something
Touch
good
the
is going to
low
come.
block.
Yes, something good is going to come out of it. I think Joey Tim, the mascot, doesn't know what's going on.
He's rather deflated by this spell. Actually, the Opals are coming back. So, I'm not sure what Ravino was being warned about, but was it interfering with the ball? Ebzery. Australia back on top by one. Now Cambage is fighting for position. Here she is. She takes the shot. Bumped by Nichols, and that is number 3.
And you know, you see Laura Nichols talking to Carol Casas right there, and she really needs to just almost double her. You can't even worry about Beck Allen, number 9 of Australia. You just need to stay in front so they can't have a direct pass, because if you have a direct pass like that, Cambage will either score or get a foul like she did there.
She came in shooting 70% at the free throw line. Tonight she's 5-5.
And more importantly,
Nichols goes out to the
with
bench.
her third foul,
So that means Laura Gill
with 3 fouls, has to come back in.
beautiful touch.
She's shaking her hand like, oh, it's hot.
She just cannot stop.
She cannot. I think it's just, it's in her blood.
Casas. Jump shot. Cambage. Rebound. That's right. Give it up. Ebzery.
Now, if I'm Australia, I run the exact same play. I have that cross screen by a shooter.
Beck Allen, though, says, enough of this. I'm going to hit a jumper.
Okay, well, Beck Allen just silenced me, so.
Now Terrence. Casas. I think the Australian Beck Allen got a hand on that. Laura Gill has just picked up her 4th foul.
She did?
Maybe I'm hearing that wrong.
No, she did.
Yep, she's got 4 fouls.
So a boxing out rebounding foul.
4 fouls. Laura Gill, the masked center, goes off, and Sanchez comes into the game. What a situation. She's going to have to play tough. Ebzery hasn't played many minutes, Sanchez. He passed a little bit behind Beck Allen. Renz has it taken away by Steph Talbot. Offensive foul on Kayla George. Clearing out, and catching Sanchez in the neck. On the Adam's apple. Well, this is a heated affair, to put it mildly. And the behind-the-back pass over to Torrens, and Torrens, misses. Lion Palau there, and Indoor scores. Something out of nothing. Very alert play by Lion Palau.
She was in the right spot at the right time. I thought she was going to try and chuck it up, but last minute I think she saw Astu Endor was open.
And Torrens called for the foul from behind. Look at that pass. I mean, that is Lion Palau at her finest. Boy, that guy would make a beautiful bride, wouldn't he? I don't think so. He's coming here. When is his wedding? He's been wearing that wedding dress the whole tournament. Foul ball to Spain. Endure has just picked up her third foul. And we're getting close to a crisis point here for Spain. Nichols is on the bench with foul trouble.
You see Lucas Mondello looking up, saying, look at all these fouls we have compared to Australia's.
Off the hands of Cambage. Endor goes down, and the foul called on McAllen. Cambage was slow getting down the court that time. So McAllen is going to stay in the game. It's going to be Kayla George goes out. You look at the replay. Hard foul on Endor, looked like.
2 free throws for
14 points, not bad. Also, when you consider she's got several blocks.
Yeah, she's doing it at both ends of the court for the Spanish team.
Talbot lost it, boy. Some good fortune for Australia. The ball bounced right back to her. And then Jargai reached in and was whistled for a foul. Right now, she's impacting the game, but she's not dominating the game. And that's the difference. McAllen makes 1 of 2.
No, but
point lead.
Australia is up 3, and like you said,
others are getting involved.
Yes, that's what Australia needs if they're going to win, because who knows what happens.
Jargai denied. Sanchez scrapping away. Sammy Whitcomb over there. Bending over. These guys are excited.
Oh.
She just got her on the follow.
Yeah.
So Jenna Hay, I think, picked up that in her first personal foul. The team's not going to be over the limit. Fouls puts them on the line, and there's Torrens. I'll tell you, this is early in the quarter to be in the bonus. Really, isn't it, for both teams? And Spain were surrounding Cambage. Here's Sanchez. Good! Look at that! Talk about contributions from the bench.
Play for this Spanish team, and wow, has she done a good job coming in.
Here's Cambage, she catches it, and Endor rides her back. And Cambage will go to the line. That's 4 fouls on Endor. Cambage is getting everybody in foul trouble. What about Sanchez? Well, that was
Really,
big time,
she's only
wasn't
played
it?
4 4 games for them and averaged 1.27 minutes. So, I mean, to come in and what she's already drawn fouls, she's rebounding, she's scored for them, defense has been great. I wonder if Cambese's hand is cooling off a little. Or if she's still going to shake it down the court.
She makes 1 and 2.
No, she's still shaking it.
Now Mazzoni is having a word with Cambage. I don't know if he's telling her to stop having a go with the crowd or telling her just to play basketball. Nichols. And now Nichols shakes her hand like she's hot. 46-44. She catches it, she posts up. Wow, this is amazing stuff.
I mean,
Can't believe what I'm watching. Shargai drives in, Cambage fouled from behind by Nichols, and she has to be careful. She doesn't want to pick up her 5th by remonstrating. I think that's good restraint by the refs, to be honest. You don't want to have a technical in this situation.
no, and you know, I understand you have to offensive rebound, but I don't think that was a smart move by Nichols. I don't mind the call there. She did jump over the back, and she wasn't even going to get it. Just let it go. You already have 3 fouls, and there's 13 minutes and 39 seconds left.
You would not believe how this crowd is reacting right now with Cambage. And the bottom line is, Nichols has 4 fouls. Indoor has 4 fouls. Also, Laura Gil, 4 fouls. The 3 bigs of Spain are in trouble.
Ellos saben que nos vamos a colocar en zona.
Lucas Mandela is
Vale,
going to have
vea,
to
tú
come
vas
up
a
with a different
defender
plan
a Cambage
to
en la
attack
zona.
Cambage.
La zona es esto. ¿Vale?
Again, we
Y
can't
vea,
get so caught
Cambage
up
está
in the
aquí,
Cambage that we
Cambage
forget
está
about
aquí,
these other players.
Las demás en
Yeah, I mean,
zona,
we've seen Beck Allen.
dejamos estos
She has
pases,
8 points.
defendemos,
She's
nos
hit shots when
cerramos,
she's been open.
defendemos, cerramos,
Whitcomb came in. She had the early
presiona
5
los
points for
pases
them in the
aquí.
first half.
El ataque.
I mean, Etzery
Laia,
is the one
nos
who
está
scored the first 2
funcionando
points
bien,
of the
pero hay que
3rd
atacar
quarter.
bien.
So
El Julio,
there are other people
vale,
contributing
vamos
for
a
this
jugar a un
Australian
solde,
team.
pero
So
si
I
no hay
agree
nada,
with you. You
cambiamos de lado.
can't become obsessed with her. But Lucas Mondello of Spain is going to have to figure out how to slow her down at least, especially with all his bigs who are in foul trouble.
¿Tiempo muerto o técnica? Ya no me lo sé. A ver ese chico que se asusta, ese emoticón, esa chica, ¡qué bien! ¡Fantástico! ¡Marcha! Entérate de todo a tiempo real. Y ya sabéis, que tiemble el Santiago. Gracias, Marcha.
Tenerife, one of the Canary Islands, has the premier basketball tournament in the world right now, the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup. And if you don't know where the Canary Islands are, just look at the west coast of Africa and go out into the ocean. Just look for an arena, if you're looking down from the satellite, something that looks like a big hamburger.
Cambage was just told not to shake her hand, and she didn't by the referee. I was wondering if she was going to risk it and start shaking that hand again. We'd seen her do the last time she shot free throws, and the ref told her, you have to stop that.
Terins. Now Palau. Jargai. And Jimmy Have. Beck Allen fouls Jargai from behind the arc. 3 free throws.
From Australia, that's her 3rd personal foul. And number 10, Marta Shargai will shoot 3 free throws. Prestidos libres para Marta Shargai. Substitution for Australia into the game, Steph Talbot. Replacing number 9, Beck Allen.
So Steph Talbot, Whitcomb, Cambage, Tess Madgen, and Janet O'Hay in the lineup for Australia. Sanchez getting important minutes here. In for Spain, along with Laura Gil with 4 fouls, Jargai, Terens, and Palau. Makes 2 to tie it. Makes all 3. That's a big sequence. Spain back on top. 13 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the game. Here's Cambage, guarded by Sanchez. Oh, a little drop step, and she goes down. Now Spain running. Over to Sanchez. That would have brought the house down if she made that. O'Hay passes out to Whitcomb. And then O'Hay bats it out again to Whitcomb for 3. Rims out.
And again, I know Sammy Whitcomb's a shooter.
But
She
O'Hay
probably hasn't missed 2 consecutive threes often in her life, but I agree with you. O'Hay was open, maybe on the second shot, run something, get Cambage inside.
Indoor 4 fouls. She's had a great game tonight, but on the bench with the 4 fouls. I mean, it's almost inconceivable, really, that Cambage could have gotten Indoor, Gil, and Nichols all in foul trouble, and not to be able to just go on and dominate. I mean, she's encountering still a lot of difficulty, and this is all credit to Spain's defense.
I mean, she has shot 11 free throws already. We still have 12 minutes game clock left to play.
You can see what Mondello says, collapse inside. Offensive foul called on Cambage. And right now, Sanchez is on her way to legendary status in Spain.
You know, just like yesterday, I thought it was Corral Casas who stepped in off the bench, and now here.
Well, perhaps a little bit of theatrics, but
We have the beauty to see the replay, as does everyone else watching this. And I mean, you know, that's what you have to kind of do against her. Maybe you risk a flopping technical to get a potential 3rd foul on Cambage.
Palau zigs and zags, puts it up, and good. Spain now leading by 5. For 3. Talbot gets in, puts up another 3, and Kayla George pushes off.
Offensive foul number 15, Kayla George of Australia, and substitution for Australia into the game number 10, Katie Ensbury, replacing number 7, Tess Madgen. Two free throws for Alba Torres, number 7.
It's all going right for Spain right now. Look at this. And here Terens is at the line. And
they have done this basically with Laura Nichols and Astu Endor on the bench. And they're up 5. Missed opportunity to be up 7.
Talbot. George, back out to Talbot for 3. Still can't get it to go, Australia. And one shot now. Now Palau in the open floor. Up ahead to Thrins. Falling down. Gets it to Shargai. Now to Gill. If you're Australia, you got to let her have that.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the shot that Spain wanted there.
And Whitcomb just fell down. We've seen it a lot, haven't we? At this World Cup. Thrins and hands it off to Shargai. Spain now up by 7 points. It's just the patience and all started with the slip.
And they could be up actually 9 had Torrens made her free throws.
No, we're good. Make sure you match up here. We're both in the bonus here, so still be
But you take it back to what you said last night. You know, Spain just gained a lot of confidence from that win last night in the quarterfinals, where they were down at the end of the third quarter. They came back, and even with Cambage out there, they came out with a game plan, how they wanted to guard her, and even with foul trouble, other players coming off the bench.
Otherwise, Kayla, if you don't get it, get to the corner. It's a high pick and roll.
You know, I don't know what to think about Cambage in terms of how she's approached this game and turning it into a game about her
And the crowd, 5,000 people.
Has that helped her? Has that helped Australia? I'm not sure. I think...
That's how she plays, right?
Well,
We've
that's how
seen
she
it.
plays, but right now she's out of the game, and you know, she's got the 21 points.
$22 points in 21 minutes. But like you said, she's not on the court right now. And you know what? If I go back and I'm Australia and I lose this game, and there's a lot of time left, so I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but you have to look at some possessions and say, why did we not run something for her? That cross screen on the baseline with the shooter, either she's open or the shooter's going to be open. How did you not run that more often?
There's Kayla George catching it down low and putting it up.
There is no way that you can't run a play for Liz Cambage when she's on the floor that gets her in a scoring position consecutive times in a row. Like, it doesn't...
With Palau with the three-pointer, and that is going to be the end of the quarter. So Etchery didn't even attempt it. 58-50, Spain. With this shot from Palau, kind of looking, kind of feeling like they're a team of destiny tonight. And some might say, wow, it's the greatest of all time. You've got Valdemaro, obviously, but Laia Palau at 39 years old is still getting it done.
Vale.
Well, Spain now shooting 41% inside the arc, 40 beyond it, 10 of 15 at the line. And you saw Australia's numbers, 35% overall, 44% inside the arc, just 14% from the arc, and 16 of 19 at the line. And crucially for Spain, 18 points coming from the bench, just 8 for Australia. But there was that one play before Palau's three-pointer where they were able to feed the ball into the low post to Kayla George, and she was able to score over Sanchez. So, you know, Sanchez is a good player, don't get me wrong, but Kayla George is at a higher level, so they need to be able to take advantage of other mismatches.
Yeah. I mean, you have, see, Coach Brondello has gone back with Beck Allen and Liz Cambage to start start
Bueno,
this
familia,
fourth quarter.
las
And
pipas son para el descanso. Volvemos a lo nuestro.
I think, I'm not saying every play has to be run for Liz, but I think she needs to be involved.
Right.
And she doesn't really force it. I haven't seen her force a shot in this game. I would tell you if I thought, oh, that was a bad shot. She's forcing it.
You want her
What
to
is
be
she
more
doing?
involved in the low post.
Yes, exactly, because she's going to distract people, and that's going to open up better shots for the guards of Australia.
Here she is.
She is unstoppable
But she has to be able to get that position
every time.
without fouling.
Yes. And you know, Spain are going to flop, especially if it's Sanchez. Sanchez is going to risk.
Jargai misses, and now sent to Cambage, grabs the
And
board.
this she needs to get rid of the ball.
Oh, but nobody's coming back to get it. Alana Smith back into the game. Sets the pick. Rolls.
See here, why is she hanging out there?
Yeah, but why did they not give the ball to Smith? They can't be afraid to go to their other bigs. Ebzery. Here's Smith. And Ebzery, three-pointer for the Opals.
And if I'm Liz, I'm going, good job, Ebzery, but I was wide open underneath the basket.
Jargai. Over to Laudergill. And again, that is a shot that if you're Australia, you're happy to give away. Ebzery inside to Cambage, and just like that, Australia back to within one. Torrens, Nichols, Indoor. 4 fouls or not, now is the time to go.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's crunch time.
It's go time.
You go.
By Palau and Cambage with the rebound and fouled by Palau. Let's take you back. Here we go. Watch this.
And you know what? That might be a psychological thing right there, though, Jeff.
Yeah.
She might. Laia Palau says, okay, we don't have a foul yet. It's been 2 minutes. I don't have any.
Take this.
Yeah, take one. You know, take one for the team. Try and frustrate her a little bit.
Now Palau needs to be careful. Remember, she picked up a technical foul. Was it against Canada or no? It was before against Belgium. I think it was
Yeah, it was against Belgium.
game, yeah. But I think these refs are doing a good job. They're just, you know.
I think these refs have done a great job. I think.
Here's Cambage, goes, turns, misses, follows it up. It's good.
And
Now she's just playing basketball.
Yeah, and that's a tough job. I mean, Lauda Nichols, she wants to be more aggressive and she wants to play her style, but she can't because she has 4 fouls.
So Australia back in front on a run here at the start of the fourth quarter. And now an offensive foul. Who's it on?
It's on Alba Torrens, I believe. Good job by Jenna O'Hay. She was trying to deny Torrens from using the away screen, we call it. Here we go. I mean, this game is just aggressive. Both sides are playing. You can tell this game means so much. I mean, both these teams want to be playing against the U.S. in the finals tomorrow, the 2018 FIBA World Cup.
That's right. They probably don't want to face Belgium, that's for sure. The way Belgium have been playing in the third place game. Here's Ebzery. Shot clock winding down. Ebzery fights away in. Can't get it to go. Lavinia coming back into the game.
And this is the most minutes that I think Liz Cambage has played. Sorry.
So she's...
I wonder if, you know, maybe she'll get a little fatigued the last 7 minutes. I can't imagine her going out, Jeff, unless she picks up a foul.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's probably pretty sure she can last it. indoor three-pointer. Puts Spain back in front by 2. She has come to the party tonight, 17 points.
And we talked earlier at the beginning of this game. I said, Astu Endor can pull Liz Cambage out.
O'Haye goes up, and have they called that foul on indoor? If they have, if it's on indoor, she's fouled out. It is. She's gone.
And that is big. Yes, it is. I mean, she should have just stayed straight up, but she...
As
It's
the
a
great,
foul. I mean, we can look at it on the replay, and I think it's a foul.
as the great Ken Harrelson always said, he gone. Only it's a she's gone. She gone.
But this is big. This is big for Spain. I mean, she just pulled.
She just drilled a 3.
She just drilled a 3 because she forced Liz Cambage to have to come out and guard her. And Liz is not comfortable guarding bigs outside the three-point line. And now, Astu, after a wonderful game, has had to go to the bench with 6:35 left in this game.
And interestingly, Jenna O'Haye now has made a couple big plays. Her biggest contributions, remember, she had the calf strain, which kept her out of the group phase. And her quality now starting to shine through for the Oaklands.
And now everyone knows.
Offensive foul.
Is it on Laura Nichols?
Chargai.
Oh, Chargai? Yeah,
Marta Chargai.
You know, everyone now knows why Coach Sandy Brondello, of Australia invited Jenna O'Haye back into this Australian Open squad because of her leadership, the big plays. She's just a smart player. She's a veteran.
Well, she's tempted. She can shoot it, but she decides to take it down low. Well, that was not the quality move that I was referring to. But nobody was there for the rebound. Uvinia pulls up.
And right here, if I'm Liz, I'm kind of cutting to the basket. I'm going to post up.
Yeah, and nobody's there for the rebound again, and that's the other advantage to having Cambage down low. Now to Gill, over to Torrens. Chargai. Cambage with the board.
She needs to give it up.
She gives it up to the other big. Cambage, difficult pass to catch. And she fumbles it out of bounds. It looks like Cambage does need a breather. It's going to be Talbot that comes back in for O'Haye. And Cruz comes back in.
And here you see the turnovers, 10 for Spain and 13 for Australia.
61 apiece. A date with the United States goes to the winner in the final. The loser will play Belgium, the third place game. Uvinia. Cruz. Now Nichols gets rejected. Not in my house, says Cambage. She's flirting with the technical, and she has just got it. She has picked up her 4th foul for taunting the crowd. She'd been warned.
She had been warned. She knows. They told her earlier about the free throw shooting, shaking her hand after. I mean, they have told her. The refs are not letting this go.
It's interesting, you know, before the game, we were wondering if Mondello was going to come up with some type of plan to get her out of her game. But really, she's kind of invited it herself. And she's walking a tightrope.
She's got to keep her cool here. I don't mind her asking, why did I get it? But she needs to keep her cool talking to the ref also. But you know what? I mean, she has 4 fouls right now. Jeff.
That's even worse.
There's 4 minutes and 50 seconds. I do believe if somehow Spain can force Liz Cambage to foul out, Spain's going to win this game.
But can she even play the way she wants to play with 4 fouls? That's the question. Cruz. Talbot. Oh, has it picked? It's Torrens that kicks it in. What a great play by Melba Torrens. She now has got 15 points. Edzeri.
And, you know, one of the best plays that this Australian team runs, it's not a high horn set. That's what they just did. It's Liz Cambage on the low block on the opposite side with a screener coming across to set that low cross screen for her. And they're not running that anymore. I haven't seen it since they scored off it early in the third.
And they have called a 5-second violation. The Dominican referee, Cuello, and Rondello's saying that was only 3 seconds. Turnover for Australia. Well, you know what? Australia, their own worst enemy, it seems, right now. Uvenia pulls up. We saw Australia fall back that 8-point deficit very quickly.
So if I'm Australia right now, I calm down and I run an offensive set.
There is Cambage. She puts it up. And they call the block as well. And Nichols has fouled out of the game. Boy, that was everybody down under is wondering, has Lizzie just fouled out? Nichols did what she could to get the charge.
And you talked about
Takaki Kato said, "You're out of here," to Nichols.
You talked about Liz Cambage. You know, you said, can she play the way that she wants with 4 fouls? We should have said the same thing about Astuendor and Laura Nichols. Can they play the way that they want with 4 fouls?
I mean, in my opinion, that could have possibly gone against Cambage.
I'm not sure I would have called anything. I'm not in the heat of the moment. We were able to watch replay, and I was able to give my comment after I saw the slow-mo replay.
Incredible. Great drama. Cambage is battling Spain, the crowd, and really she's battling herself. Can she hold it together here for the final 3.5 minutes? Laudergill in the paint. Back outside to Casas for 3. Cambage goes up for the rebound. She's got to get it to her guard.
She needs to pass it.
And she travels. Cambage has got to learn to give the ball up.
I mean, she had Sammy Whitcomb 3 meters ahead of her on the right. And I know Liz Cambage is mad at herself. You can see her walking over, yelling at herself to the bench. But this is the second time this game she should have passed the ball up.
Sandy Rondello, I mean, she was just like head in her hands, but she looked at Cambage and she came over and said, "It's okay, don't worry about it. We'll move on." If we know that she should be, if we know that she should be giving it up, she should have really.
But really, she's her own worst enemy. She knew she should have given it up. Just a little too late.
Mano a mano.
She knows she shouldn't be tossing after she was told not to toss. Then she got a technical. So when I say she's her own worst enemy, she knows these things. It's as though her emotions just get the better of her.
Situación de solde. Pero situación de solde. Ataquemos aquí, si no.
And that's why it's 64 apiece, and you don't think that Australia can win if she goes out.
But I know if she can stay in, I don't know how Spain can guard her, can possibly guard her without Astuendor, without Laura Nichols.
I just think it's going to be difficult for her to stay on the court. I really do. I can't see Cambage lasting it.
There's 3-14, Jeff. Do you not think Coach Dandy?
It's just because
Rondello was like, please.
I think those 50-50 calls, one of them might go against her. You just don't know.
Yeah, that's true. When she turns around.
31 points today, so she's above her average. Kayla George, Beck Allen, Edzuri, and Whitcomb also on the court. Cruz brings it up. Remember the hero of Spain's Olympic campaign back in 2016. Cruz has been very quiet. She's got the ball. Now Casas. And Cambage. And the foul. Is it Sanchez?
It is. And this is what's going to get interesting is that Australia are in bonus. So every time down the court, they're going to be, every foul, right here you saw Sanchez go in and kind of undercut Kayla George. But every time they are fouled, they're going to be shooting free throws. For the tournament, they have shot 72% in this game. They're only at 60, they're at 86%, 19 of 22. This could be a game changer right now. For the last 3 minutes, you're going to be shooting?
I'll tell you what, as FIBA Basketball World Cups go, I'm sure the good people down under would say that 2006 is their favorite one. But this one has really shaped up to be an entertaining one. A lot of talking points. The Opals trying to get back to be among the best, trying to become the best again. And just having an almighty struggle against Spain here in the Canary Islands. Can Spain get the win? I mean, it is just hanging in the balance, isn't it?
Is it hanging?
Jargai gets swatted by Cambage.
And every time she goes up and does that, you're going to hold your breath wondering, is she going to foul or is it going to be a block? See, right here, I don't like that.
Oh, she's going to take the jumper. That's too much from Cambage. She's got to pass it. Kayla George from the right corner. Good. The Opals bench erupts. 5 points the lead. Somebody needs to make a play for Spain. Will it be Jargai or Torrens?
Or Cruz. She's been quiet today.
Sanchez, perhaps not the time. Now Cambage needs to watch herself. She wants the ball. Beck Allen gets swatted by Torrens. Well, she makes a big play on defense, Torrens. Kayla George throws it out of bounds. Well, good defense by Spain, by Torrens. Although it was a rush shot by Beck Allen. This is Sanchez. She does not need to be doing this. Laudigill goes out of the game, and Laia Palau is back in for the final 139. Drives, cuts it up and in. El Capitan. Now Jenna O'Haye comes back in.
So Coach Brondello didn't call a timeout, where I might have gone with a timeout just to advance the ball, because I don't want to turn the ball. I don't want Kayla George bringing it up against Martha Jargai here.
Well, she gets it across midcourt. That was dangerous.
That was. I mean, if they had turned the ball over, it was going to be the easy, quick basket for Spain.
Edzuri. Jenna O'Haye. George. Torrens takes it away. Torrens goes behind her back. She gets blocked by Jenna O'Haye. Under a minute to go. Spain down 3. Off of Jenna O'Haye's hands.
Time and score. They need to get over half, and now they need to use the clock. And guess who you go to? You run a play for Cambage to post up.
Edzuri takes time off the clock. She had the open path to the basket. The ball batted into the hands of Cambage. A bit of good luck. It looked like Spain knocked it out of her hands.
I think Edzuri is going to get the assist for that, but really it was... Oh, she's not getting an assist.
Palau batted the ball away, and it went straight to Cambage. unbelievable. But listen, 32.4 seconds in this game, as you look at that replay, is a long time. And
I mean, she's emotional. We keep saying that. She's
Alba se
emotional
queda arriba
to
por
herself,
si
with
hay
her
la
teammates.
situación.
It's the way she plays. I think it's dangerous, very, very dangerous at times.
Vale,
And
tú
here you see
atenta, va a
fast break
buscar el
points,
espacio.
17 for
Me
Spain,
encantan. Y la
2 for
siguiente,
Australia.
vamos a defender como
They
estamos
haven't had a lot of
defendiendo.
fast break
¿De
points in
acuerdo?
this fourth quarter, Jeff.
you know, that was their, Turin's came up with the steal, and they just did not get a good play at the other end. 20 points for
Siguiente
turnovers for
ataque,
Spain,
cuernos
6 for Australia.
para Sargay. Sargay hace el bloqueo y luego el pívot bloquea
Just a little bit of lack of execution for Spain in their last couple of possessions, and it's been costly. Look at this. If Sanchez had, obviously she's preoccupied guarding Cambage, but if she has an inkling that that's going to happen, she might have a chance to get the steal. Spain need a basket. They need it in a big way. It's a 2, a 3, ideally a 3.
And this is taking too long, Jeff.
Jargai.
What Coach Mondello drew
No,
up.
Turin's. Jargai gets it back for Turin's again. And McGowan gets the foul. The Opals on the verge of a famous, famous win.
And I'm not sure about that play. You said Spain needs a 3. They were down 4 anyway. They needed a basket. And I think they were too concentrated on trying to get a 3 when I think Alba Torrens, even on her first attempt, she is so good at that kind of hesitation and getting to the basket. And even on the second 3, shot fake, go to the basket. I'm sure she would have scored or drawn a foul. And,
It's
when
ironic.
you shoot 88% from the free throw line, with 10 seconds left, you got to be feeling good.
And the Opals rebound the miss. Cambage has it, and time is running out on Spain. Australia, somehow, they could have beaten themselves tonight. I think they can count themselves lucky. And I'm pretty sure that Sandy Bardello is going to have a quiet word with Liz Cambage tonight and tell her to turn it down. But Australia have a lot to be proud of. They have won in the hostile atmosphere of the Santiago Martin, 72-66. And Cambage is just... They're going to shake hands. It's a tough loss for Spain. A lot of intense feelings out there. And you get the feeling.
I know Spain is disappointed, and you can see it on their
the Spain
faces.
coaches should shake hands. And they do. And I think Mandela, doesn't he know Cambage from her days in China?
Yep.
And now Spain get together. And they say thank you to the crowd, and they got nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, it's ironic, isn't it? I think they have their best game tonight, and it just wasn't quite enough.
Hey, look at that rebounding stat, Jeff. 53-34 for Australia. That's tough to overcome. But they did force 18 turnovers. Spain did. I mean, you have to keep in mind, here we have the leaders, 33 points by Liz Cambage. Astu Endor, great job by them, 17. You see the faces of this Spanish team, and they're upset, and there are tears in their eyes. But, Jeff, they need to refocus because they're playing for bronze tomorrow. They have to face a Belgian team that, right now, they're my favorite team in this tournament. And I think they've caught the hearts of a lot of people. They've inspired a nation in Belgium. Young girls are going to start playing basketball in Belgium because of those women. But you know, it's hard to get over something like this, but you got to get over it, and you got to start preparing and thinking about tomorrow because they're still playing for a medal.
Well, you know what? I think this crowd is really proud of Spain. I think Australia kind of wanted this hostile atmosphere. I mean, the way they came out, and I'm not sure how many neutral fans they want in this crowd tonight. And certainly the Spanish fans are not going to be very forgiving of Cambage in Australia the rest of the way, I suspect. But with Spain and Dominguez, I mean, they've got nothing to be ashamed of because I thought they played great tonight. I really do. You know, you cannot have perfect execution. And they did have some moments in key situations where they did not come through. But the crowd appreciates what this group of players has done over the years.
I mean, you know, Spain struggled with a few injuries early before this tournament began, And, you know, you saw Alba Torrens wasn't herself. She stepped up tonight, had 15 points. We saw vintage Alba Torrens. Astu Endor, you talked about coming back, taking the place of Sancho Little. And I thought she absolutely had a great game, 17 points. She did foul out. Laura Nichols fouled out for them. They went up against an incredibly good and talented Australia team that has, most likely, the MVP of this tournament, Liz Cambage.
Australia's celebrating. I mean, I don't think they're trying to show anybody up. They're just having a good time. But, you know, I think some of the Spanish fans, as well as Liz Cambage being interviewed, taking exception. But if you look back at some of the highlights, it's just a memorable occasion here at the World Cup. So it'll be Australia taking on the United States for the title, and Spain going up against Belgium in the third place game. You know, the key, they needed Endor's offense, did Spain, I think. I mean, she came out, she hit the three, but then she had to go down and play defense against Cambage, and she committed that foul and left. And that foul trouble for Spain ultimately caught up with them.
Francia a las 2 para la quinta y sexta, y después a las 5:30 España se enfrentará a Bélgica para el tercer y cuarto puesto, y la final
But you know, what you got to remember with Spain is they have reached the summit themselves in recent times.
La jugadora del partido
you can't win it every year, and that's just the reality. And it just hurts that little bit more when you don't get the big wins when you're hosting the tournament. As Spain now will have to cope with that, and they'll have to come back strong because they don't want to leave.
Damas y caballeros, ahora vamos a anunciar la jugadora del partido TCL. Este premio será entregado por Isabel.
And I mean, you see how emotional Liz Cambage is. I mean, she's just an emotional person. I think sometimes she's her worst enemy. Sometimes it does come across.
A round of applause, please, for TCL Player of the Game, Liz Cambage of Australia.
I would hope that she would accept this honor gracefully as the TLC Player of the Game. TCL, excuse me, Player of the Game.
It's not a song.
TLC, yes. Tender Love and Care. TCL Player of the Game, Liz Cambage. And you look at the highlights.
I mean, rightfully so. The woman has 33 points, 15 rebounds in 31 minutes.
And she had some blocks as well. She had 4 blocks. Yeah, 4 block shots in the end. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. a thriller. There she is, the TCL Player of the Game, Liz Cambage, here after the semifinal win for Australia, 72-66 over Spain. So the lineup for tomorrow will be France taking on China in the battle for 5th place, Canada take on Nigeria in the battle for 7th, Belgium against Spain in the battle for 3rd, and then in the showpiece game at the end, it'll be Australia against the United States. Thanks for watching. Oh, well, here we go. Just as I said. So that's the lineup. And we will finish things up with the USA taking on Australia in the final. But I think a lot of cause for celebration for Spain, despite this defeat, because their players gave everything tonight. And there should be a lot of pride in this national team. And a chance of MVP towards Perrins and the rest of the players. Thanks for watching, everybody.